Hey, it's Jay Beats. I'm here with my hat on, trying to keep warm because we know that snow is going to be blowing through. Got a new story. Make sure you're ready. So, my news story might be shorter, but it is about two drunk dudes. Yeah, and it wasn't even past 9 o'clock. Yeah, lots of fun. So I try to not drive past 9 o'clock. So around 8:30, I got this ping for a ride to be picked up at this restaurant. And I had never picked anyone at this restaurant, but I have seen this restaurant. It seemed like it was a nice restaurant too. So I'm going to try to explain this restaurant. It has like the one front area, and then down the way, it looks like a sort of like a patio area that people can hang out at. And then it has like a little fence around that way. So I pull up and I don't see anybody come up yet. So I figure, okay, this is going to be one of those wait 5, cancel, and leave. But then I see two figures come up, and then they're trying to open my door, and I have my window down asking them, I need to get the name of the account holder. And they seem to be unfocused and still trying to get the door open. So I had to get loud, and I said, hello, what is your name? And so finally, he said, oh, and he starts laughing, my name. And I'm like, ew. And then he said the name, which was correct. So I opened my doors unwillingly. And I find out it's two doofy guys who got in my car. And then one was so like, I don't know, he was just so like combobulated that he knocked the siding off my car. The filling, the side on my car came off because he pretty much bent it off. So my trimming is hanging off, the trimming that's between the door. And I said, you know what, just pull it in and I will deal with it after I drop you off. So he pulls it in, but then he pulls it over his body and he shuts the door, and then he keeps the back window down. And I quickly verified where we were going, and we get going. And so I think the ride was about 8 minutes around the corner. And so I was like, cool, this is going to be quick. I'm going to speed them to the location. They ain't going to tell the difference. Because you can tell they were like a tipsy drunk, not a nasty drunk, but they were so tipsy that it was on the annoying side, because they were asking me questions like, are you single? Are you married? And then he was giving wrong directions saying, no, make a right. I don't know. Just annoying. So we're heading down the road, and this fool is hanging out my window, hands and head and all, just hanging out. Then he's got my door, it just wrapped around him. It just looked it real special. And so I'm just speeding on, trying to get him to the location so I can get rid of these two nuttos. So we get to the location, and he was getting all out my door retarded, and I was like, bye, hurry up. And I was just trying to like just get him out my car. I didn't even, usually I'll, say thanks, for being a 5-star ride, all that type of stuff. I didn't do that with them. I was like, get the fuck out. I'm just like so over this ride right now. And so anyhow, they get out and they're stumbling. So these fools are all up in the street looking like zombies and confused and lost. And I was like, whatever, dude, that is not my problem anymore. So I completed the trip and I drove off in the sunset or the nightfall, whatever you want to call it. I shooted it up out of there. So I got to my waiting desk. There's a special place that I wait at all the time because it's quiet, no one's there. So I pulled over and I says, okay, let me go fix this door. This motherfucker fucked up. Anyhow, I went over to fix the door and I got everything fixed on my door. And then I go back to the other side and I got a surprise. So that surprise was this mofo's phone. Yes, he left his phone in my car. And I was like, just fabulous. When I thought I got rid of you, just great. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, call up Uber, because I'm not going back over there. I'm sorry, I'm just not going back over there with that. They were just too drunk to even probably understand what they did. So I called up Uber and just put in one of those notices that driver left a object in the car, and I sent the picture that it was a phone, blah, blah, blah. So I submitted that and figured, okay, tomorrow they'll probably call and want to meet. Okay? So around about, let's see, I dropped them off about 8:40 or something like that. But around about 9, I said, let me call it a night. I'm just going to go home, go to sleep, and start a new day over. Because I knew I was going to be Ubering the next morning, but I said, maybe then they'll reach out to me. So anyhow, I go to sleep. Nice, good, deep sleep too. Really good. So around about 4:30, I kept hearing something buzz, and I was like, what the hell? What is that my cat? I didn't know, it just kept buzzing. I was like, oh, that's my phone. My phone was blown up with like 12 to 15 messages. And guess who it was? Yeah, it was him calling for my phone. He was like, these messages wasn't like, hey, you got my phone? I got a message from Uber, blah, blah, blah. No, these are like, I'll pay you anything. I need that phone. If you can just meet me before 7 a.m., we can meet up. I don't have a car also. If you could just come back, I will pay you whatever you want. And I just got messages on messages on messages. And I was like, wow. What was also so weird is he was using somebody else's phone to message me. And somehow Uber gave them my personal number. And I was like, really, dude? You gave me my personal number over a phone? Are you kidding me right now? Because I had 2 different phones, my work number and my personal number. And Uber only had my work one. Somehow they got my personal one and they gave it to the customer. Lovely. So I was going to be getting up anyway, but I told him, I just sent a quick message and said, hey, I can meet you over there because I'm going to go Uber anyway, and I'll meet you. And he's like saying, yeah, please, I need that phone. And then he sends me an address and stuff and saying, let me know when you're near. I'll be right outside. And he was just, and the thing is, they were all in caps. And it's like, so I'm like, dude, why are you screaming? Are you like still drunk or something? Like, what the fuck? Anyhow, I went ahead and got dressed and I was heading over there. And when I was getting nearby, I did send him a little message and say, hey, I'm 2 minutes away. Please, be outside. So I'm getting up to the area. So I'm driving up there and I think I see a figure. But what was strange was the address he gave me was on the other side of the street. But he was standing like up a block. And I'm like, what? Am I getting robbed or something? So anyway, he comes and he walks down there and I was like, well, this is the address she gave me. And so anyway, I barely let my window down because I just don't trust this dude. I don't know why I just did. So I slid the phone out the crack of my window. He was like, oh my God, thank you. You should let me give you a hug. You're the best and blah, blah, blah. And that's not as cool. I got to get going and I got to ping for Uber ride. Yes, I lied. But I felt it was in my rights to get away from him. So I sped off, like, and then I turned on my little red Uber light because I was like, I gotta make this looking official. So I just drove off just to get away from him. But at the end of the day, it's like when you got drunks in your car, check behind them. So thank you for letting me share another Uber ride story. It has been fun. Please share my channel and also subscribe. Thank you.